Well, welcome to another episode of Redesigning Your Relationships Live. Oh, just kidding, we're not there yet. Oh my god, we're live. Excuse me.
Welcome.
Live. I'm your host, Geovanna Burgess White, and let me drink some water real quick.
And while she's saying that, hello, I'm Yvette Valdenegro. And oh my God.
Are you okay?
I am, but hi.
Okay.
Welcome. Yeah, and we're live and we're all the things. And I love that we're all the things and we're real and raw. And welcome to Redesigning Your Relationships.
Yes.
We got that out finally.
Yep. And we're live on Instagram today too. So if you've been following us the whole year, we really have been trying to do this Instagram live push through StreamYard, which we do all of our podcasting on. But it's a two-stepper, and then I have to make sure that we're on. So we are. So is this our last episode for relationship?
No, I remember. Okay, so last week our topic, at the very end of it, we did kind of a deep dive into how 2023 relationships and dating yourself was morphing into other things for 2024 already. And they're very interesting topics. There's 5 of them. And I thought, let's just do one more to cover those very interesting topics because we had a lot of feedback last time and people sharing their thoughts. And I'm like, you know what? I bet you a lot of people are going to have some thoughts around these 5 topics too, revolving around relationships. Kind of like it's spring. Everybody, it's like, remember when you're in junior high and all of a sudden hormones are flying and oh my gosh, and the little butterflies are buzzing everywhere. It's kind of like spring is that same thing, like rejuvenation of no matter what type of relationship. And this does not have to, a lot of what we talked about does not necessarily have to mean romantic relationship. It's, you can take nuggets for your intimate relationships with your friends and family. Yes, but a lot of it does center around partners, dating, and marriage. Because side comment, I firmly believe after being married in my first marriage and now dating a wonderful human being, it's extremely important to be refreshing yourself with skills, with communication, with listening, learning, growing. It never ends.
Yep.
At all.
We'll go back. If you didn't listen to the first 2 episodes of this month, go back and listen because they're really good. Today we're going to talk about, are you trending or tumbling? And we're going to hit you with those stats. But before we go there, if you're watching on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube Live, we will answer your comments, questions, whatever you want. If you just want to comment, we will throw it up on the screen. But it is interactive. I think last week was our first real interactive week. And then if you're watching the replay, we will also answer any questions you guys have. And if you're listening on the Spotify platform, you can now watch us on Spotify if you watch the video, or you can just listen to us. There's an interactive feature afterwards where you can go do a poll, answer questions. So just know that we're here for you live and during the replay. So
yeah. Well, and one of the other reasons we want to get this, because we get asked a lot when we're speaking or sharing, whatever, people go, well, why do you guys call yourselves relationship coaches, right? And the bottom line is, no matter what you are doing in your world, work, you're a workaholic, or you're, all into relationships, it all begins with self. It's the number one relationship you have and the most important one. And then goes to your relationship with your business, your relationship with your significant other, your relationship with your friends, your kids, your coworkers, all those things. You are the common denominator in every single one of those relationships. So of course, we want to take some time to talk about a little bit more of the side of the romantic relationships, your partners and people that are close to you. And we did this series. And so this one is more like, okay, so if you are in a relationship, are you trending, meaning like you're on top of all the latest and the greatest, or are you tumbling? Because like you said, we looked up some statistics and we love the little survey, not little, they're big, but big surveys. And it's not what we think. It's what is really happening out there, right? How do people do relationships? What are they doing in their relationships? And why would someone consider themselves trending on their, and they're in the know, or they're like, oh my God, I am so tumbling. And this isn't a comparison. It's not to say just because you don't fit in the stats. It's just to say a gentle reminder again of where are you in your relationship. Yeah, you can go to the next screen.
I was like, oh, in my head. Okay.
Okay, so here we go. When these adults were surveyed, they were asked what was really important to them when it comes to their relationships. And 97% of them said that they believe it's important to show your partner you love them. That's 90. There's only 3 out of 100 that wouldn't have said that. That's statistically, that's almost a no-brainer. That's like hey, if you're wondering what you should be doing in a relationship right now, show your partner you love them. Hands down. Okay. Then 96% of the people said they want to be intimate with them. Like, again, a no-brainer. So
I'm gonna bring it back to the love languages. Like, hello. If you're wondering, if you haven't done that test, it's a really great one to read the book and do the whole thing. But it's important, like after words of affirmation, physical touch, and acts of service. I think that's a really good in the showing your partner that you love them. So that's 3 out of the 5. Just in these 2 statistics.
I mean, it's okay. So 1, show your partner you love them. And I love the word show. We are not mind readers. So if you're like, well, I took them out to dinner like a year ago on their birthday and I sent them a text 4 months ago. No, show your partner you love them. And I always think this too. Okay. So yes, the love language is important because you want to know how your partner best receives love and gives love and how you best receive and give. So when you're thinking about showing your partner love, this isn't how you want to show your partner love. It's how you know your partner wants to receive that love. It's a whole different thing. It's not about you, it's about them. And I love the fact that people are like, hey, listen, I want to be with this person, which leads me to like this big scope of, okay, so if 96% of all the people say they want to be intimate with their partner, it leads into then why is the statistic so high that infidelity runs rampant in our culture? If you can literally say pretty much everybody wants to be with a partner. So there's a huge disconnect as to why that's not happening.
Yeah, I feel like the whole another episode, but again, that's food for thought.
Food for thought. Okay. Well, you want me to just keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. So then it was like, well, what's happening? Why these things aren't happening? What causes in our world for people to either be trending or tumbling? The number one reason is stress. We can't get around it. It's stress is everywhere. Work, family, your relationships, financial, health, whatever stress you find yourself in, that is the number one reason. And we hear this all the time. I know I used to hear this all the time when we used to do marriage counseling. The men. She always has a headache. It's always that time of the month. She doesn't feel good because she's around the kids. Well, guess what? Those are all stressors. those are all stress. So you have to be compassionate with your partner and be like, okay, how about this? Flip it. What can I do to alleviate some stress from your life in order to have that time that we can spend together, which is also really important. But the number one thing is stress.
Well, and then I think having the conversations too, like going back, it's like there's so many things. The communication, having the conversations. What one person may like, the other person is not on the same page. So just having that understanding, that of what mutual connection is for you and what you need from your partner, and vice versa. Because, like you said earlier in the last slide, it's like it's not about you; it's about them and you together. So having the conversation can be awkward, but then knowing is better than trying to figure it out because we're not mind readers. So
No.
All right. So relationship goals for this year for 2024. You just do one by one. I'll start with one.
Yeah, let's just talk about them real quick too.
Be positive to one another. See, simple.
very simple, but it's okay. Think of it this way. We go about our whole day long, like right now, work, 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 work. This happening, this isn't happening, blah, 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 right? You're done for the day. You don't want more negativity in your space. You want positivity. And I get that that means that maybe there's some things you need to work on, but let's just be real. There's already so much crap in the world. Why are we bringing that to each other? And if there is that stress and tension, then do what you can to make a safe haven and a safe space for when you come home for each other. Even if that just means, hey, give me 30 minutes just to have my space. I need to decompress because there's a lot going on with me. But that is a really good indication. Even actually, all these things are good indication. If you're listening to these and you're like, I can't really say I want to do any of them, right? Well, we're here to talk to you for sure, but this is a good indication of, okay, maybe this is a little mini test of how your relationship is really doing.
Yeah. And I kind of talked about this one last one, but like improving your communication and carving out the time for it. We always like it's in the moment with an emotion, something just happened, but like improve it, spend time once a week, talk about and it's almost like business on one end and then talk about like life and goals on another. Like really carve out the time and improve the way you guys are speaking to each other. And that goes even deeper to like how you guys communicate. There's different communication styles. So understanding each other's communication style is super important in this one too.
Yeah. Well, you kind of said number 3, so we'll go to 4. Okay. Say, I love you more. I think this is so important because let's just think in the world that we live in, there's only so many people that you can actually say, I love you to, right? Like my daughter just left. I told her I loved her on the way out the door. I tell obviously my partner, I love him, right? There's only so many people that you can say that to I mean, obviously I tell you all the time, I love you, right? But there's a difference in those levels of intimacy that you're telling that person. That means that if there's only so many people that you allow or that there's a safe boundary there that you put for yourself, then know that you want that to be expressed to you and you want to be able to express it back to the other people because your percentage of hearing those words gets smaller and smaller. And there's something super amazing that happens when you can tell another person that you love them. It's such a caring gesture of closeness. And it's really kind of just actually goes back to the other thing we were saying about just the intimacy and being intimate. If you're in a committed relationship, that is the only person you are truly intimate with. So if you don't have that, then again, that's why people seek other things. Same thing with the words, I love you. If that is meaningful to you or it's meaningful to say it, then say it. Say it more often and mean it.
Yeah. I feel like 5 and 6 are kind of like hand in hand, like planning for the future. I think we forget that. We're like day and day, copy and paste, work, kids, life, community friendships, but it's like really make sure that you're planning. What does that look like? And not like 10 years, because that can be a long, like what's happening in the next 6 months, what's happening in the next year, right? And then really get excited about it and then learn and grow together. That's another reason why relationships don't work. Everyone stays stagnant and everyone's like, oh, but this is how it's always been. So like, what are you doing for yourself? What is your partner doing the same thing? And then what can you guys do together and understand each other? Like growing is beautiful, change is beautiful, but if you don't embrace it and you're just like, well, that's how it's always been, there's gonna be bigger problems.
Yeah. Okay. Be more intimate or be intimate more regularly. I mean, I basically already just said that, but there's something that happens chemically in your body. And again, that significance of this is my special person. But when you're doing it more regularly, that just builds more of a bond, which goes into number 8. That's also a great way to build trust. Because if there's a huge percentage of infidelity going out there, then building that you're intimate only with that person, which builds the trust, which builds security. And when someone's feeling more secure, it goes both ways. There's not that insecure, weird, you make little pot shots. They said, you said, you're trying to dig. Not, I mean, all those nuances, the more you trust the other person, they're not there.
Yeah, it's definitely more balanced. Focus on your adventures, which I love, and it goes back to planning and improving communication. Like, what do you guys want to do? And that can be weekly, monthly. It doesn't have to be big or expensive, but just like focus on new things that you both want to do. And again, not always about you. You may not want to do something your partner wants to do, but try it. You never know until you try it. That's why I love food now. Thanks to my husband. So I love all the food.
That doesn't mean you have to go spend a lot of money either.
No.
There's so many things you can do. That's why I love living in the city and the surrounding areas, because there's always someone to do it with, and there's so many things to do that don't necessarily cost money. So just kind of Google and be more adventurous, which leads to number 10, find new ways to be intimate. And listen, intimacy, just don't let your mind go there. It doesn't mean like you're going to go fall into bed and have sex. That can literally just mean holding hands. That can literally just mean like eye contact when you're talking to the person and really looking in their eyes. But this is a great segue into our next episode, when I was talking about the 5 things that are really juicy. Those juicy things will definitely lead into giving you new ideas of intimacy for sure.
Which means you have to stay tuned to next week. So we'll be back next week and we'll give you some more tips. If you're just now joining us for this episode, go back because they're fun. They're layered, but they're not, connected. You can get what you need from each one of them. And before we go, our episode is sponsored by the YGC Collective. If you've not heard about it yet, it's everywhere in the show notes that you're watching right now or where you're listening. We are hosting our very first conference on August 19th is VIP night. August 20th is general admission for our day. It is a one-of-a-kind movement here in Houston, Texas, where we're bringing women-led organizations using their voices to get anything that you need out of life. So whatever kind of season you're in as a woman, this conference is going to be for you. You'll be able to go pick from 3 speakers, 3 auditoriums at the amazing venue that we've picked. And really, we just want to give you the time to pour into yourself, invest in yourself, and come meet all the amazing speakers, sponsors, and the women that are going to create some beautiful interactive experiences. And then just meet and connect. That's really what we want you to do. So all that is in the link provided. We will be back again next week. Every Wednesday we go live at 12. And if there's anything we can do for you, you know how to reach us. Anything at YG Collaborations.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.